Hey Ryan, do you have any extra dollars?
I don't.
I'm hungry actually. Yeah.
I don't have any extra dollars for you, Joe.
What are you gonna use it then for?
I'm thinking of giving my extra dollars to TFAL's Patreon account.
Wait, TFAL has a Patreon account?
Yeah,
Patreon.com/TFAL podcast.
that's right. Patreon.com/TFAL podcast. If you want to help TFAL continue its great quality work, you can contribute some money to us monthly. Go to patreon.com/TFAL podcast and you can give your extra dollars to us.
Hey, Joe, how much does your internet cost?
Hey,
A lot.
I don't know. I have to ask Girly.
Hey, Mike, how much does this equipment cost?
A lot.
Hey, Ryan, how much does your brain cost?
That's all I have. As you can see, we spend money to produce this free programming to you, and we could use your help. So find us on patreon.com/TFAL podcast and see if you can help us out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My secret, just do something that ain't nobody ever done before, but make it sound like something that's always been there forever.
Hello, welcome to This Filipino American Life, a podcast that explores the nuanced experiences of Filipinos in the United States at iba pa. My name is Joe Bernardo, and I am joined by my fellow co-hosts.
Ryan Carpio.
Elaine Delalis. And
And Mike, hi.
hold on. Was it ready? Was it ready? I wasn't ready.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome. Bringing it back.
You all ready now?
Yes. You ready?
Someone snippy.
Today we're discussing basketball.
What? We're talking basketball. That's all I need.
Basketball.
Before we get
best ever.
Is it the John Test version?
Yeah, the John Test.
Before we get into it, I just want to dedicate this show to Jamie Teresa. This basketball episode is just for you, and we hope that you are a fan of basketball.
If not, it's the way it got drawn out.
Yeah.
So that's how we drew the names.
You're the TFAL fan of the episode. Thanks for being a part of our Patreon. You can also be a part of our Patreon, patreon.com/TFAL podcast.
Yes. So if you are Filipino American,
That's me.
That's me.
that is me too.
Me sometimes.
We love basketball.
Yes.
Like love it.
Right, Mike?
Yeah, sure.
Yay, sports.
Sports.
Yes. Filipinos have definitely a love affair with basketball.
Totally.
Yeah. So yeah, today we just want to talk about basketball, our experiences with it.
It's
how
roundness. It's roundness and bounciness. Sorry.
Like bags of sand.
You talk like you haven't ever touched a ball.
Sorry. I just ate chocolate. I'm a little bit.
Chocolates.
Carry on, Joey.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about basketball and our love affair with it, and our personal love affair with it. It happens to be my favorite sport. I love it. I love it more than anything.
Oh God.
No.
Do you love it more than girly?
Hey, don't put him in a situation. let me stand up for you here, Joe. Hold on. Edit that, Mike.
It's funny. The other day,
said to
Girly was
Girly.
like, the funny thing was like, I talked to Girly, and we're talking about maybe cutting the cord on cable, because
I don't have cable.
yeah, because it's expensive. There's a lot of
sports.
channels. Yeah. But I think the only thing that really is keeping me in cutting the cord
Is basketball? FYI, Sling TV, you can get TNT. We watch a lot of basketball.
Yeah, but not the Lakers channel. I say I'm a big Laker fan.
Yeah. When we cut cable, that was hard. I don't get backstage Lakers
Backstage,
anymore
oh.
or backstage Dodgers, so that was really hard.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard for me to cut the cable because of basketball.
Ryan's not a Laker fan. He
I
doesn't
do. I did have the NBA TV for a little bit, but that just became too much. So yeah, I cut
That's
that.
how much you love it, huh?
Yeah,
Don't you love basketball?
I love basketball.
So when you were a kid, did you play basketball? Like unorganized sports?
I was part of the YMCA Junior Lakers League.
Ooh, is there a
Yeah.
jersey or a picture?
I do. I think I still have the jersey. I kept it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I played 6th grade Recreation and Parks League
Ooh.
basketball. We were the Chicago Bulls, or the Bulls, not the Chicago Bulls, but we were the Bulls.
Were you the Bulls?
Double.
Yeah, that's. I mean, later on too, but that's when I started like playing organized when I was in 6th grade.
I think I played basketball in junior high, and then I played JV basketball my sophomore and junior year, and varsity basketball my senior year. And then I couldn't play my entire senior year because I blew out my knee in a preseason game.
How'd that happen?
I hyperextended my knee, like running up. I was supposed to run up the court, and my leg stopped, but then my body went the other way, and my knee popped out. So I didn't get to play the whole season my senior year, but I had the best free throw record at 50% because before I went out, I made one free throw. So there was that.
How about you, Mike? Anyways,
I mean, I played a double dribble on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
I love that game because the Lakers had a lake as their mascot.
was it?
Yeah, it was
I thought they were the breakers and it was a surfboard.
No, in double dribble they had a lake and it was like a blue hot dog that would come out. And it would,
That's why I thought it was a surfboard. I thought it was a surfboard.
Oh, you thought it was a surfboard? I thought it was a blue hot dog.
I don't think it was a blue hot dog. I'm sorry.
That's an old hot dog, everyone. Remember, if you see a blue hot dog, stay away from it. I heard.
So, how did you get indoctrinated into playing basketball?
I mean, I watched a lot of it growing up, especially in the Philippines. It's also easy. Like in the Philippines, it's pretty easy to put up a court. Like you just, I mean,
You put up a basket on a tall
you
thing.
just need some
shirted t-shirts. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
You just make a hoop and get a ball any size. Sometimes it doesn't even have to bounce, and then you shoot around and stuff like that.
My dad played basketball, and there's pictures of him in his like old like uniform, and he had brought it from the Philippines, so he had like short shorts because it was the 60s or 70s, so it's like short shorts.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
And then like John Stockton short, and then he had the
That's awesome.
he had the jersey, but it was like cotton, so like the actual it had like a little O because I guess it was for like Osamis. And so he loved basketball, so that's why I played and like loved the Lakers. And I played ball in Vince's, so my cousin Vince, graphic designer for TFAL, we used to all play basketball in his front yard.
Yeah.
In his driveway. And so he's been like an assistant coach for St. Genevieve High School, and then his brother is like the head basketball coach for the school. So ball is life for like our family.
yeah.
Let me go back. My whole family like loves the game too, but my cousins, I'm the youngest of like a cousins generation. So all of my older cousins and my brothers all played. Mostly the guys played basketball at some point. But when you were talking about your dad, it reminded me that my dad actually also played.
Ooh.
And so he's like, yeah. He goes, we were known as the best looking team. And we thought he was lying. I'm like, this is crap, right? This,
You saw a picture?
And we saw a picture and they had like a sign that said best looking team. And I was asking them, like, what was your record? He's like, I don't think he remembers, but if you've ever met my dad still, until today, like, carries a comb in his back pocket. He's just one of those guys who has a handkerchief and a comb. And he's always like, it's like a very gentlemanly thing. But And I go, Dad, so when you guys were playing basketball, did you have a comb in your back pocket? He's like, probably. You look at the photo, all their hair is like
It's all Elvis hair. All
Oh
Elvis
my
hair.
gosh, yeah.
How
I'm
much-
going to look for the photo.
How
He
much
still has it.
pomade was in there?
Oh my God, my dad was known as the pomade guy. Like he was like seriously, like anyway. So that just reminded me like he was in a team. I don't know if they played basketball well, but they look good.
Speaking
So-
of pomade, I remember seeing. I was at the airport, and there was like this old Filipino guy, like a senior citizen, and he hardly had any hair. He, had the friar tuck going on,
Okay.
but he still like combed it with a pompadour, like as Elvis. It was like very like one. It was like 5 strands of hair, created like this pompadour.
Can't let it go. Can't let
It's
it go.
awesome.
Creature of habit.
It's like, man,
That
Elvis
guy.
had a huge, huge
on
influence. Yes,
Filipinos.
exactly. Yeah. So me, my dad loves basketball. All my uncles pretty much love basketball. We would always watch it, and I really got into it during the height of the Lakers Celtics rivalry. Same. Yes, and that's how I got into basketball, and I just loved it ever since. And it also helps that we grew up as Laker fans.
Totally. Yep.
I grew up as Laker fans. It's always
See,
like,
I just
that's
loved it
number
for
one
the game.
sport.
I just loved it for the game. See,
Yeah. That's what happens when
Laker
you
fans.
grow up with a really not good team.
all right, enough. Carry on, Joe.
How about you, Mike? So, anyways,
No comment.
But then we watch basketball at your parents' house.
Okay, so I mean, that's like my relatives. And I think, so my dad didn't really watch sports in general because he wasn't interested.
Mm-hmm.
He also didn't drink, and he also didn't really do anything other than gamble when he was around the house.
So
So it's kind
now-
of like there wasn't time or interest, and I wasn't athletic anyways. So it was like, we're not going to force you to play basketball or watch basketball if we're not into it. So I did taekwondo and tennis instead.
oh. But did you watch tennis?
Not really.
Not really. How about your brother?
He played Little League baseball.
Ooh.
So it's not the basketball's not a thing in our family. I don't know. I think we're
Are you
the exception
Filipino,
to the Filipino.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
I just hate
This is why
everybody.
I watch basketball.
Elaine watches enough basketball for the two of us. So
Yeah. So, just a little history, guys.
Ooh, history.
Go ahead, Professor Joe.
Americans introduced basketball at the turn of the century, and the team Philippines had a successful run in the Olympics, and I think they bagged like a bronze or something, or in one of the
Ooh.
Olympics in the 30s.
Good job,
And-
Filipinos.
and then really that kind of catapulted basketball as a national sport, as one of the
So
national
it
sports.
is a national sport.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's official.
I don't think it's official.
I think
a
cockfighting.
sport.
Sipa is our national sport.
And cockfighting.
It's a sport of our national sport of our hearts.
and hating on people.
But yeah, basketball is probably the most popular sport in the Philippines.
That's more accurate.
You go to any barangay, province, village, you see a basketball court. If you go to like any Kanto in Metro Manila or Cebu, you'll see a makeshift basketball court.
That reminds me of something when we were at SIPA once. This like tita from the neighborhood came into the office and she just like rang the doorbell and came in and she was just like, I have a question. My son is visiting from the Philippines. Can we use your basketball court so he can play?
Oh, wow.
And like none of us knew the answer because it wasn't like an open court. It was just SIPA's court.
Yeah.
And I just was thinking like, well, there's a park. He could go.
yeah.
But like, it was just such an interesting thing that like this tita came here to like ask,
Mhm.
can he play?
Yeah.
And at SIPA, like they
And what
used
is
to
SIPA
have,
again?
SIPA is Search to Involve Filipino Americans. It's a nonprofit in Los Angeles, and they used to have a Filipino basketball league, right, Mike?
Yeah. It was the TGYSL Temple Gateway Youth something or other.
Wow, Mike, that's how much you love basketball so much.
But no, it was like a way to like organize the kids around something that was structured. There's a lot of other things that they do at a place like SIPA and a lot of other community organizations, but it was like basketball was the one thing that it seemed like it was both easiest to kind of get the kids into
Yeah.
and to kind of, get them, excited about because they would get their own jerseys, they would get to play kids from other schools. So it was a way to like bring together the neighborhoods in a way for historic Filipino town in LA.
Yeah. I remember my cousins were involved and family friends were always involved in like Filipino basketball leagues. Did you have any experiences with those?
Yeah. I played in, oh gosh, probably all through high school I had summer leagues.
Did you really?
I played in like, even after high school, we there's a group of us that played like post-college. We would play in the adult leagues. But in high school too, there was 6 feet and under, you know, like.
Yeah.
So that was all Filipino?
I think you have to be part Filipino, I think, or something like that. But it was Phil League.
A lot of them have different rules, right? Yeah. There's like Kaba hoops, Pac Rim, and
Pac Rim sports.
What's the other ones?
I did not know any of this.
Yeah. There's a whole like
But I feel like it's
subculture.
because I'm a girl. And like guys were mostly in it.
You're probably.
I don't think
Yeah.
there was
Probably right.
girls leagues. Or,
I mean, I wish Vince was here, but he used to play in a league, and like I think the league was co-ed. League is co-ed, so but to make it co-ed, you just need to have one girl on the team.
oh.
So, but it's like it's like full on. It's like 5-on-5, so it's not like, like remember back in the day, there's Hoop It Up.
Oh yeah,
I played that one time.
You do?
Yeah.
I
I
think
never got to do it.
I have a feeling I might have signed up. Maybe. Maybe not.
Oh.
But I did go to like watch my friends play.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I am not good enough for this 3-on-3 tournament.
I remember when I played in Hoop It Up, there was this team in like my division. They were called the Crazy Pinoys. It was this like really short point guard, and he had the highest flat top ever.
Oh really?
It was
What?
like 5 inches or something. It was like kid in play style.
Oh, if you're
Yes.
listening
I have no idea who that was.
and you played on 3-on-3 Hoop It Up in the Valley back in the day, and you were part of a team named Crazy Pinoys, hit us up. It's FilipinoAmericanLife@gmail.com.
Did you play pickup basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, you know what?
No.
I was too intimidated.
No.
Just like all these questions, I played basketball probably every day in like my entire 8th grade like year or 7th grade, but I played it all the time. I can't remember not playing basketball like every week.
Like at
least.
recess or like after school? I
Like,
mean, at
we
recess,
had
I
a
guess.
thing, and there was like rivalries, and we played pickup games, and then we would hop fences to play basketball games in a local school.
Look at you in those streets, Ryan.
Dude, this cut right here was actually not from an ex-girlfriend. The cut on my left eye was a basketball. I used to tell a story. I got punched by my ex, but I was at Marshall High School in Los Angeles
In these streets.
in the streets. No, but I was playing basketball and I got cut. And like
Caught by what?
I ran into a guy's head.
What?
We were
Oh,
going
wow.
for a ball. So, but yeah, we used to play all the time. My brothers played all the time. My brother still plays.
Oh yeah, your brother apparently plays at the pickup game at UCLA every day
Yeah.
or something like that. I've walked.
Yeah.
I've accidentally like. Oh no, he told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, your brother's good.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He's good. And but yeah, I used to play pickup games in college. You know, if you go to the rec center or gym. That's
I
what
did
we
that. I think Kaba had a IM team.
What's Kaba?
Kabayan, UCI Irvine Kabayan. It's the Filipino American organization there, and they would have a intramural team, like league. And you could sub out, but they always needed to have a girl on the team. And so I remember once I played, like, okay, I'll do it, and I hadn't played basketball in like.
Since you hyperextended your
Since I hyperextended my knee, and then I get out of the court, and I'm like, I thought it was only half court because there were so many games happening, but it was full court, and I was just like, oh my god! And then I'm like going up and down the court with my friend Jay because you had to have 2 girls, so we were both running up and down, and I was like, my hands were on my knees, like I'm done. Who's gonna come in? Who's gonna come in? And then some other younger, more fit person came in, and I was like, thank God, I'm finished. And then I immediately thought I have to quit smoking. This is not a good idea.
You know, it's weird. There's like a whole subculture of basketball.
Oh yeah.
Like subculture of pickup basketball among Filipino immigrants in the U.S. You ever
Okay,
notice
explain.
that? So when I was living in San Francisco, I used to actually go in the morning to play every day at Gaylord Park in Daly City, and there used to be like a bunch of like Filipino dudes, middle aged, and they would be playing there starting like 8 a.m. in the morning.
What?
Yeah, and never fails. They're always there, and there's just different rules. There's different like little nuances of Filipino pickup basketball and American pickup basketball. So, for example, the way you pick your teams,
Yeah.
right? There's some places where you basically match up with whoever's the same size as you,
Mhm.
and then you
Rochambeau.
play your Rochambeau, rock paper scissors, and then the
Winners and
losers,
losers.
winners and losers go to each other team. Or if it's more like organized. I've been to pickup games where they actually rent out a gym,
Mhm.
and you go with it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. There's probably like 40 guys who go and play, and they actually keep a list,
What?
like on a white erase board, and then
That's serious.
they put you in the order of how you came in or whoever you're with, and then they rotate the teams.
based on
based-
that?
Yeah,
Yeah. So so even everyone gets a chance to play.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The way the Americans work is just it's pretty much
Go
you
to a
get
park.
there, you go to a park, you
You just wait, right?
You wait. You
You call next.
Yeah, you call. You kind of develop your own team within people who are sitting out, and you call next.
How do you call next? Like when you play video
say, "Hey,
games?
I'm next."
Oh, that's all you do?
Yeah.
Or you. How do you usually do it? I would say who got last, right? You would say like because there's a lot of people usually sitting around. So if you're
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
new person, there's folks sitting around, and let's say I came by myself. I would ask, "Oh, who has last?" And someone will point that guy has last. That means like
Okay.
they're the last ones that have declared they want to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because there's usually like a line or something.
People-
but-
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Usually
it's like
it's you
because
got
it's a basketball game. It's not like when you play video games and like you're playing Street Fighter and you put your quarter on the machine. Like I am next. This is my quarter.
No,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
no
kind of
quarters.
like
You just gotta know.
and you have to kind of be vocal about it.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'll just get skipped over.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
American. But in
Yeah.
in amongst Filipinos, it's just different. They kind of make sure everyone plays.
Mhm.
Like in American basketball, like whoever wins stays on the court. That's
Yep.
no matter
Until you
what.
dethrone.
Yeah.
until
Until
you
you-
dethrone
yeah.
them, right? And Filipino basketball, sometimes they put limits on how many times a winning team can win. So you can only win 2 times,
Mhm.
and
you
then
can't
have to
like
rotate
run the
out.
court.
No.
Right.
Oh,
And the whole point is like to get everybody to
play.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then mostly American style, you play one-on-one. You play defense one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right? Man-to-man. And in Filipino style, you play zone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was always...
Were you always in the middle?
I was always in the middle because I was the tallest. So I was always...
Like put the big guy in the middle.
Hoy, ikaw, sa gitna. Yeah. So I was always in the middle on defense.
Would they yell at you if you went to the top of the key trying to go after somebody?
No, not really.
Like, hey, big guy, go back there.
Yeah. And it's like other stuff. Like, I think in Filipino basketball, there's a lot more emphasis on passing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you play zone, you kind of have to pass more. Let's see.
They're a lot smaller too. That's why, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then there's always these old Filipino dudes who are like 50 or 60, and they're just chilling and like on the sideline, not the sideline, but like on the baseline. And
Yeah,
they just
and they
shoot.
like
They just shoot and they just freaking. They're automatic, dude.
Yeah.
They're like Larry Bird back there.
like they don't even bother running the court, right? They're just like,
They're just like shuffling their feet,
yeah.
just going back. They're not really playing defense. But like if they get the ball, dude, like
Yeah.
it's automatic.
It's like they just practice that shot all day. Like that's all they can do.
Pretty much, yeah. And they're like, yeah, there's like, man, that guy's 60, dude. And a lot of courts, at least in the places I've been to, it's always Filipinos, especially the middle-aged folks, always play at the crack of dawn. They play like at
Crack of dawn.
yeah. I played one time. It's like they started like 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
Is it because they have to go to work?
A lot of them like either go to work or they're just coming from work.
Oh.
But also, it's also because
They can get the court?
they can get the court. Because if you go during like peak hours, like
Yeah.
after work or something like that,
Yeah.
you know, if
There's a lot more people.
there's a lot more people. You can't get the court. You can't get your friends.
You can't
to
get
all
time.
come.
Yeah.
yeah. And
You
then
don't get to make the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. And then there's always cherry pick. There's a lot more cherry pickers.
Because no one wants to play.
Explain what that means.
Oh.
So basically, they don't go back to play defense. They're just chilling where their side of the court is.
That would be me. I would totally do that.
And especially it's usually the old guys. And then like they always yell at bato, 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 so they could pass the rock over there. Damn cheaters.
Hey, sometimes it's hard to go up and down that court.
Yeah. What other nuances do you remember?
I don't know.
I just remember that when I played organized sports, like I didn't do this, but I would see some guys do this, or even some girls, that they would have court shoes and then they would have not court shoes.
Oh yeah.
So like when I played basketball, I would have I went to school with a uniform, so the uniform was black tennis shoes, and so I would just wear that. And then when I played basketball, my parents were very frugal, and they were like, "You wear the same shoes to play basketball."
Yeah.
So I did not have court shoes, and then I remember I saw a kid do that. Like he like took out. Okay, so my dream shoe is the Jordan 11s with the baby blue bottom.
Yeah.
That's my dream shoe. I've always wanted that. My parents would never buy Jordans for me because they only bought my shoes at like discount like shoe warehouse or something like that.
You got the XJ900s instead. Remember those?
Sure. I think so.
Jordan's evil, by the way. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
But like he had those. He had a pair for school. He had a pair of 11s for school to walk around campus, and then a pair of 11s to play basketball in.
Wow.
And I was like, how did you do that?
Wait, you wanted Jordans?
Okay, I know
So-
this is ironic because I have never seen Space Jam all the way through the movie with the Looney Tunes. Because of Michael Jordan.
Why?
you hate
don't like Michael Jordan.
I didn't like Michael Jordan.
But you wanted his
Me too.
shoes.
But I wanted those shoes.
That's
I know
marketing for you.
It worked.
I don't like Michael Jordan.
I didn't like Michael Jordan either. 'cause
What? He's so awesome.
He played for the
Why are you
Chicago
guys so
Bulls.
against me?
I wrote a whole essay for my friend who has a basketball blog about why Michael Jordan's overrated.
So why is Michael Jordan
And
overrated?
then I think I
should read
wrote
it.
Joe an email about like how Michael Jordan's like the greatest of all time. Remember that?
Right?
Like,
I spent a whole day just trying
crafting
to-
an email,
crafting an email.
telling him about like how Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time and that we need that. It was great. I was like, dude. Anyway,
Do you still have those? Can we post those?
I have my
Okay.
article, but I don't know if you have your
You should-
rebuttal.
I try to dig it up.
I think I was like talking about timing and media and all that stuff, and
I was just talking about he played in a watered down league.
You know
'cause he
what,
was so
Joe?
good.
You know what,
That's
Joe?
It was so good.
I think I agree
Oh,
with you.
Anyway, Mike.
You have no thoughts on this?
You want to get in this one?
Oh yeah, I loved Andre Agassi. I know Pete Sampras was the underdog for a while, but yeah.
Did you ever play where if you lost, you had to go under somebody's legs?
It's called Lusot.
What?
Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
that's
Okay, I
what-
never knew what
What
it was
is
called.
that weirdness?
So it's the Philippines, like in the Philippines your bet, like usually have like losers do something, and so at the end of a game you go and crawl under someone's legs.
Yeah. You never seen that?
No, because you're basically telling me if you lose a game, you have to get teabagged with somebody.
It doesn't have to be face up.
Yeah. Why are you crawling? Why are you crawling with your face up? That's weird.
You don't like ram your ram your crotch into the loser's like face.
Although now that you bring that up, I'm just kidding.
Like, that's what
No, you just
And that's how you got the scar on your eye.
Ryan, is that really what happened?
you know what? No, but it's called Lusot, and it's supposed to be embarrassing, and because you get on all fours and you crawl under the winner's legs.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I remember I had to do that all the time. with my uncle. Yeah.
So are you saying you
My
lost?
uncle teabagged me.
Oh, wow.
You gotta-
Wow.
Oh, no. But yeah, that happened
Weird.
all the time.
Yeah. That's part of
I do
it.
not know these things.
And then we gambled with basketball all the time too. We would play this thing called 25, right? 25 cents. 25 is what the game is. And you just, it's like playing a game of horse. Like you shoot from a corner or something, and whoever misses like loses like a pot of money.
Okay.
So like all 5 of us could play, or 4 of us could play. Like if we shoot from this corner, we put all our quarters in here. If all of us make it, you do another one.
I never.
If one misses, it's like elimination. If one misses, you're out.
You're out.
And if the next one misses, they're out.
But they all get the money.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we never did that as kids because we never had
I never
money.
seen that. That's the first time I heard.
Maybe that
about
was just my family.
It's your family because you like to gamble.
gamblers.
Yeah, I know. Maybe.
Speaking of horse, Mike and I were at San Pedro at the Friendship Bell.
The Korean Bell?
The Korean Bell, yeah. And there's a basketball court up there. And my cousin...
It's so windy up there, though.
So my cousin Cherry from Australia, she's a baller out there. So when she first came to...
She a cherry picker?
She's not a cherry... Nice. When she first came to visit, Mike took her to this basketball court and she remembered it. So when she came the second time with her friend, that was her one request. This was to go to this court. So we went there and she like loved it to play ball, like with the beach behind you. It's an amazing thing. So over July 4th weekend, it was super hot. So we went to San Pedro and a game of horse was happening at this basketball court. It was the worst game of horse I've ever seen in my whole life.
Were they misspelling it? Horse.
It was a couple. It was
had an A in it.
It was a guy and a girl, obviously on a date, and the girl had no skills. She was holding.
Did it make you mad?
It made me angry. Like she would shoot like and hold the ball wrong, and she would like go like and it didn't
Like from the chest.
and I'm like, that's not and then she didn't even guide it with her other. I was like, this is wrong, and I was so frustrated. And Mike tried to take a picture of me as my anger.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so she was trying to do a crossover like through the legs, right?
Yeah.
She like lifted her leg up so it was like perpendicular to her body, and that was how she did it. And I was just like, what is happening? This is atrocious. I really wanted to take the ball away from them and be like, you don't deserve this ball.
So you could school them?
Be like, no, I wouldn't even. I would be like, I can't play right now, but you don't deserve this basketball.
Well,
You're
you bring that up. I mean, one of the things I was curious about was how is the experience for Filipinos in basketball gendered, right? Because I know a lot of people, there wasn't a lot of Filipinos in my high school, but much of the basketball team were Filipino girls. And so is that something that's always, is that something that doesn't necessarily like is only Filipino boys play it? Or is it something that like it's so endemic in the culture that like everyone just is into it? Well, except for me, obviously. Mm-hmm. How is that experience different, especially for you, Elaine, because you played...
I also went to a small school.
Mm-hmm. That was mostly Filipino.
It was mostly Filipino.
But when you played other teams, for example...
When we played other teams, because of the league we were in, they were not Filipino. So we would get crushed, like insanely crushed. We played this one school, I think it was St. Mary's out of Inglewood. So the team was like mostly black, and they were all like, the shortest girl was like 5'7".
Oh wow!
Our tallest girl was 5'9". So you could imagine that. I think the score that night was like 103 to 40. I was surprised we even got.
So
to
did you call them to their legs?
You got teabagged.
Practically.
Teabagged. Oh god! By women?
By women?
No, I'm just kidding.
But so that's just how it was. I mean, I'm 5'4" and I was a forward, like a power forward. I'm 5 feet 4 inches tall, and I was a power forward. And my go-to was to post up at the bottom of the key to get a layup. How is that possible? I'm 5'4". So if I had to guard a girl, the girl would be like 5'8", 5'9". I'm like, this is.
Wait, so what was your
dumb.
shooting percentage then?
Oh, it was terrible. It was so
Mine
awful.
was 99%.
Because you
won one game.
My shooting percentage. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. We never kept track of that stuff.
Really?
I never kept track of it.
Not a pickup, right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, not a pickup.
An organized sport.
Yeah.
So Ivy, my best friend, she's really good. She's an outside shooter. So her game was that she could shoot threes from any point in the court. But the funny part was she was really good at basketball, like legit, like the best. Like for me, I thought she was a really good player, but she doesn't watch basketball now. Like she doesn't really care about sport, like NBA. I don't think so. And like I'll get into it. I'm like a in and outer. I'll keep up, but I'm not necessarily gonna watch the game. And then like college ball, I try at least every year to do a bracket. Even though I don't keep up, I just like to do it. I like the
that's a casual fan thing.
Yeah. I know, and I know I'm a casual fan.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a tradition because in high school, our chemistry teacher indoctrinated us into March Madness. Because our chemistry teacher, Mr. P, he had played ball in college, I think, and he told us, so the TV is going to be on mute. And then he was like, but we're going to have this lesson. And I'm like, there's no way we're going to learn.
Did you guys do brackets in class?
And I think we did brackets in class. Like he taught us, like, this is what you do. These are the schools. So I think I've been doing brackets since high school.
Wow.
And like, not that like I would put money on it. I just
What's
would,
the point? I mean, that's
Ryan?
great. That's great.
Right.
Pride. Yeah.
but like years later, like now at work, there's always somebody who will do that. So
And
I'll
that's
try.
usually Ryan. Ryan would organize all the NCAA brackets.
How much
and
was your buy-in?
Steal everybody's
$5.
money.
No.
Cheat his way to steal people's
There's
money.
no cheating. You can't cheat.
I'm sure there was.
No.
There's such cheating.
I've never
But
cheated.
the bracket that I do now is super complicated. Like
Why?
you have to pick like like if there's a tie, you have to pick like a over under, like a point percentage, and like
Oh, wow.
all these things. Like the commission of that is like super detailed. But the buy-ins also.
But it never gets that close, does it?
It has for NBA Finals.
Oh,
And it has for Super Bowl.
I see.
So like, I'm revealing that I do a lot of sports betting. Hi, Mike. where you have to do that, but like sometimes when it gets too complicated, I don't pay attention, and so I'm just like whatever, blah blah blah.
So we kind of touched upon it earlier, but I want to talk about basketball fashion.
Ooh.
You talked about the Jordans that you always
yes.
wanted. So I know a lot of Filipinos who play basketball, and they just like they dress to the nines
On the court.
on the court. Yeah, I mean they don't wear a tuxedo, whatever. But like, yeah, they have like matching jersey with the matching shoes, and they have all the sweatbands or like what's it called?
sleeves.
The
The sleeves.
sleeves.
The
Is there Allen
performance
Iverson?
sleeve.
Yeah, they all like dress like Iverson or like Curry or whoever freaking.
Ew. So they're wearing Under Armour shoes.
wearing nursing shoes. Nursing shoes. No. But yeah, I know people who dress like that. How do you dress when you play pickup?
Like what I'm wearing right now, which is like basketball shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I grew up never really had like the fancy shoes or anything like that. So I actually barely had a basketball to take to a pickup game. And usually I bring an extra shirt and my shoes, and if I play blacktop, I walk into with the same shoes that I had on. Now, I mean, as I grew older, because we play in gyms and it's easier on the knees as you get older to play in a basketball gym. Sure, you bring a bag and some shoes in there, and you can find stuff in my bag, which is usually like Ben Gay or Salon Pass or Icy Hot, or either like ankle wraps or stuff like that. But I was never one of those guys. I never had
neither,
like the jersey.
No.
Like I couldn't even play in those jerseys that you know. I usually have just a t-shirt.
I am prone to injuries. So when I did play organized sports, I was a kid who had to have 2 active ankles. Active ankles are braces that you can run around.
Yeah.
So I had 2 active ankles so that I wouldn't twist my ankle. And like 9 times out of 10, I always did. And then I would always roll my ankle. It's so painful. But then when we weren't in organized ball, like if we were playing in the front yard at Vince's place, like I would be in my uniform. So I'd be like all gross and sweaty in my shorts and my shirt. And it's like, it's not basketball shorts or like, or a tank top. It's like stiff like Dockers type shorts, and then like a button down or like a regular polo with like school emblem, so it would be really grody. My parents would be like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, nah, whatever.
I'm pretty much like Ryan. I just wear like a random t-shirt and basketball shorts, and I never wore braces or I never bring the salon pass or anything like that. I probably just don't I don't exert that much energy to necessitate that.
Because they put you in the middle under the rib anyway.
I know.
I need it for when I sit on the bench.
But
That's why I can have like the salon pass and everything.
Hey, Mike, what would you bring?
I would bring some Doritos to be sitting on the side.
He wears a Hawaiian shirt, cargo shorts.
Oh, God.
You know, in the Philippines, if you play in the street, a lot of people play in chinelas or
Yeah.
something barefoot.
I don't get how you could do that. Is he
Could
just
you ever do that?
it. Yeah, I used to.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, you didn't really have shoes. And if you had shoes, you wouldn't play basketball in it. You know, at least growing up,
Yeah.
those are for going out or whatever. So you just wear chinelas, and most of the time the courts are just made by uncles or
Yeah.
neighborhood folks, and most of the time it's in traffic. On the street.
Yeah.
We used to have a league where it would be kind of Wayne's World, game on, hold on, car, game off, game on. But they, it's when I went back, there was more organized areas where people would play
Actual courts.
yeah,
Yeah.
actual courts and stuff like that.
Were the courts put by a goodwill from the PBA or something, or is
think-
it the city or the
I
barangay
don't know.
was
probably the neighborhood.
It's usually the barangay chip,
Yeah.
who wants to play basketball? So he's
Or-
I'm gonna put one up.
or it's a goodwill to the
Yeah.
community, and they want to
Yeah.
get votes and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Wait, so why are so many Filipinos Lakers fans?
Because it's the best team in the league.
I'm gonna
Except for Ryan.
I'm gonna take a stab at this, and you and the listeners can find out why I'm such a Clipper
There
fan.
are no Philippine Clippers fans.
What?
I know. No, I mean, in the Philippines. In the
Oh.
Philippines.
I'm staring at
now,
Ryan right
now,
No,
I
not
thi-
even. There
you
were
think-
majority were Lakers fans, right? And
Well,
then they
I'm-
shifted to
I have
whoever's
some
big.
cousins
Yeah.
who are Warriors fans.
Yeah.
Well,
It
yeah.
upsets me.
Yeah. Well,
But yes, they
let me take a stab at this. I'm trying to explain this. So in the 80s, I remember NBA basketball because they played a lot of the repeats on TV, and so during the 80s, my brothers were big NBA basketball fans based on what we saw a lot of, and we saw a lot of Lakers Celtics.
Yeah.
So one of my brothers was a huge Lakers fan, or is a huge Lakers fan, and my other brother became a Celtics fan.
What's wrong with him?
Hey Ray. So Ray's a huge Larry Bird Celtics fan, and I was the youngest, and I didn't really have a team. So coming to the States, Laker Town, Ray was not all about that. He's like, nah, I like Larry Bird, right? And my brother Paulo was like, no, Lakers Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am going, oh man, I need a team. So my brother took me to my first Clippers game in '88, and I kind of just adopted the Clippers as my team. So that's how I became a Clippers fan. Not because of what I watched in the Philippines, but to answer your question, Mike, because it was accessible to us there. What a lot of people saw were Lakers Celtics. And then when you look at and Ray just decided to become a Celtics fan. But when you look at also where people ended up during the 80s or even the migration, coastal cities, right?
You're gonna be in LA.
You're gonna either
Yeah.
be in LA or the Bay Area or Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle had the Sonics,
Yeah.
but they weren't really during that time. They weren't really that big.
Yeah.
But that's how I imagine the Laker Nation to have, and Hollywood and media and market.
And they were the best.
And
they were
they
the
Well,
were-
that's the thing. They've been the most successful franchise since 1980,
Oh god.
right?
Tell me more, Joe.
Yeah, they've won 10 championships, countless Pacific Division championships, countless Western Conference championships. They don't even put those banners up, unlike the Clippers, because
Oh my gosh.
they only put up world
one-
champion.
But they put up
banners.
one Pacific Division championship in a practice court.
So didn't we make a promise not to bash on the Clippers?
True.
No,
I'm
I'm just saying.
No, but
Not bashing. We're just saying
Oh, yeah,
facts.
facts. Got
We're
it.
saying facts.
But I think the fact that in the Philippines you really only get to see the good teams
Right.
on TV, right?
Yeah.
So the Lakers.
And so Lakers have been the successful teams.
That's what I was trying to explain to
Yeah.
Mike, but not in such a skewed and lopsided manner, Joe. I said Mike, did you not understand what I meant? Joe had to say it with all these championship garbage.
And actually,
It's not
our old roommate Paulo is a Clippers fan too. I never actually asked him
Hey,
to explain
don't
that
move him.
either.
I mean,
But I mean, you know, I think wasn't his dad like a PBA player? I forget that.
I don't
too,
know.
but, yeah.
I know. I thought his mom was a Celtics fan or something.
Yeah.
So their whole family is backwards. I don't trust that.
So because of the Lakers' success, Filipinos are front runners. I'm gonna put it out there. Filipinos are front runners. We talked about Manny Pacquiao and how he loved freaking Boston back in the day, and now he likes the Warriors. But yeah, the Lakers are the Filipinos are front runners. They gravitate towards the Lakers. And there's a lot of Filipinos in LA, so there's kind of that allegiance too.
Totally.
But then, I think there's a growing Filipino fan community of
Elsewhere.
especially Golden State, because
Yeah.
they're winning now.
Yeah.
A lot of Filipinos in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
and Filipinos are front runners.
Yeah.
So they're going to
tack
gravitate
on.
to.
But you
Yeah.
LA Filipinos bandwagoning on the Warriors. I shake my head. I shake my head.
I remember going on YouTube one time and seeing a makeshift Lakers parade, championship parade in the Philippines.
What?
Yeah, it was basically like 5 Filipino Laker fans in the Philippines. I think it was like in Cebu or some place in the Visayas, some like small like town, and they just got on a pickup truck and just waved around
That's
like
awesome.
the Laker flags and their jersey and everything. They go, yeah, Lakers, and then it was their championship parade.
That's pretty cool.
That's what they titled their video on YouTube. Lakers Championship Parade.
I hope you find it so you can.
Oh
post
yeah,
it.
it's somewhere there. I posted it there one time, but
But it's not just the Lakers because Eric Spoelstra from the Miami
Yeah.
Heat, like.
they like Miami too, especially when they were
yeah,
winning.
When they were winning, and we were all calling him, Coach Guapo.
In the Bulls
Yeah.
when they were winning.
Yeah,
Or Chicago Bulls, I guess.
Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, when we talked to Chef Dale Talde, he was all about it.
yeah, but he was Filipino
But
American.
he's Filipino American.
Yeah, and he grew up in Chicago.
and he grew up in Chicago. And then Joe was very offended that he didn't choose Magic as his top 5 players.
That was awesome.
That was hilarious.
No, but I remember Francis M did a song called 72 and 10
About the
about
Chicago, Bulls.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, so he was a huge Bulls fan back in the day. Because they were winning.
Winning because they were winning. I mean, but
Filipinos love that bandwagon. It's like the jeepney, You just jump in, and then jump out.
No space. There's plenty of space. There's the rooftop.
There's
sabit.
someone's
There's
lap.
sabit.
The passenger seat. Oy, bayad. You talked about Space Jam.
yes,
What is your favorite basketball movie?
Love and Basketball.
Ah, that was quick.
I watched that movie a
Very
lot.
quick answer.
And I loved that movie because it was about a female lead and how she got to be a professional basketball player and like her rise.
Nice.
And then but it was she was a professional basketball player abroad because at the time frame there was no WNBA, and there's a love story between Sanaa Lathan and Omar Epps, and they play basketball on their court, and they play for keeps for their love, and it's so emotional. And then she loses, but then Omar Epps is like, "How about one more game? Because they truly love each other."
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert! Sorry.
All right.
I
And
haven't seen it.
I thought it was Lorenz Tate.
no, it's not Inkwell.
Yeah, from Inkwell.
But it ends with her actually playing for the NBA, for the WNBA, for the Sparks. So it's like, oh, that's cool. Like because it's in that time frame when the WNBA was starting. It's just cool.
Hoosiers.
Of course.
I don't know other basketball
Movies.
Like I've never seen Space Jam. They filmed at John Marshall High School, though, where my brothers went to school. But
Hoosiers. Yeah, I like Hoosiers. That's
I like Hoosiers.
You don't like Teen Wolf?
Are there many? I guess there are.
Basketball movies?
Oh, there are. You
Oh,
just have
yeah.
to think about it.
Yeah, I just have.
Like my favorite is White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, that's a
okay.
good
Yeah,
one.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
That's a real good
that's
one.
a good one.
And it's all about pickup basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up basketball. Wesley Snipes, who can't play basketball or shit.
I know.
And he's like,
he thought he knew how to play. And Woody Harrelson
he's
was
like
pretty
dribbling
awesome.
super high. Like, totally.
That frustrates me when they see that.
Oh yeah, I don't like it when they put people who don't know how to play basketball in basketball
Yeah.
scenes. I'm like, why is this person playing?
like Ed Norton in American History X. Have you seen
oh
that?
yeah.
I have not seen
Oh, you
it.
haven't
Is there
seen
a
that?
scene where he's trying to play basketball?
He like he's a neo-Nazi in the movie.
Okay.
And they were playing.
Spoiler alert for people.
Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah.
He's a neo-Nazi, and he basically said, "Us white guys, if we beat you, bunch of black guys, you can't go to this court again."
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he plays all gross and shitty.
And yeah, he's like the worst basketball player ever. And at the end, he wins.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is impossible because he's horrible.
Mike,
Yeah.
your favorite basketball movie?
Major League.
See, I would have had.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was waiting for that or League of Our Own. League of Their
Well,
Own.
I'm surprised none of you guys said
I love that song.
Hear that call.
oh,
The
please.
time has come
Wait.
For one and all.
We're gonna have a baseball episode, aren't we?
to play ball. I
God.
love that movie.
No, I was gonna say I'm surprised none of you guys picked Above the Rim.
Oh, the one with Tupac.
that movie is so ridiculous.
Oh, that's the guy who died after.
Yeah, like slapping the backboard and he flies through the window.
It's like, how high can you jump, bro? How high? So high, I went to heaven.
That's the one with Leon, right? Leon is like
He's the guy.
Oh, security guard. Like, yeah.
The guy who's just like roaming around and like secretly like an all-star playing in pants.
And it's like, hey, no one from the neighborhood remembered that you were this all-star basketball player when you come back.
Was it the Am I My Brother's Keeper one? Or
Yeah. Well, there's also like, what is it? He Got Game.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I haven't seen that one.
I saw it a
You
long
haven't?
time ago. Oh, it's a
With
really
Jesus
good one.
Stuttlesworth?
No. I haven't
So
seen that.
there is a guy at Oyster who had a Jesus Shuttlesworth jersey,
Yeah.
and I had to go up to him and be like, "Nice jersey,
Yeah.
nice jersey."
It's Ray Allen, right?
Yes,
Ray Allen. Yeah.
You know the story about that movie is that they picked Ray Allen to be Jesus Shuttlesworth, and they play 1-on-1, like him against Denzel, and Denzel's supposed to lose, right? But when they play, when it's scripted that he loses, but when they play, Denzel goes hard, like tries to school Ray Allen, and I'm like, this is Ray Allen, and Ray Allen speak, and Denzel's like, I'm gonna play him, and he scores on him, and so they end up actually like really playing ball.
Oh, wow.
Like Denzel's like, I played for Fordham University and blah blah blah.
Oh.
I think he did. So
I don't think it was his peak, though, Ray Allen. I
He
think
was early.
it
He was a
before.
rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Air Bud?
Or what's that one with it was like Kevin Bacon, he goes to Africa.
He finds like the tall guy, the air up there.
The air up there. I always thought like that
Horrible.
was that like Dikembe Mutombo or something?
No. It wasn't.
Not all African basketball players are Dikembe Mutombo.
No, Elaine. I wag my finger.
Thanks, guys.
So I just googled basketball movies. There's Hoosiers, like you said, Coach Carter. I haven't seen that.
Oh, that's
Space
the one
Jam.
with the what's his name? Never mind.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Is it Dikembe Mutombo?
Do it again. And I hope you burn in hell. White Man Can't Jump. He Got Game. Blue Chips.
Blue
Ooh,
chip.
Kinda like
blue
that one.
chips.
Love and Basketball, like you said. Above the Rim. Glory Road. I thought it was pretty good. Have you seen that? No.
No.
It's with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, Hoop Dreams.
Hoop Dreams.
All right. Oh, Hoop Dreams. So my brother actually got to play with Leonardo DiCaprio on pickup ball.
Oh, was he
I've
good?
seen.
That's
Leo's
Basketball
tall.
Diaries.
Huh?
Isn't that Basketball Diaries?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Basketball
Yeah.
Diaries. I thought it was.
So
Never
not
mind.
Dreams.
Yeah, not Hoop Dreams. Basketball Diaries.
Semi-pro.
Huh?
With
with Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
What about basketball?
No.
It doesn't
no.
Finding Forrester.
Does not count.
Ooh, I like the Finding Forrester one.
Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf.
Oh my God, Celtic Pride.
Oh, it's the one with Daniel Stern.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Dan
Wait,
Aykroyd.
what is that about?
It's
Yeah.
about fried chicken.
Oh my God, that was awful. Oh, Sunset Park. That was like, it's the same, like above the rim.
But like a different one.
Air Bud. There's a lot of crap.
Were there ever Filipinos in any of these movies?
No. It's because there's no Filipino basketball player. There's been, was it Raymond Townsend? He was in the Golden State Warriors. Jordan Clarkson, which he currently is on the Lakers. And he better do good this year. Unless, Magic's going to trade him.
And Jordan Clarkson, if you ever want to be on
Yes.
TFAL, we would totally talk to you.
Yeah, be good though. Be good.
And
Sorry. But yeah.
Let us know at this Filipino American Life at gmail.com.
But
I mean,
remember
like-
there was a PBA player. I forgot his name. He was like a point guard, and he tried out for the Charlotte Hornets back in the day. I forgot what year, but he obviously didn't make it.
I'd
But
say there's a lot of NBA players that end up in the PBA. It seems like. right?
yeah,
But it
like,
never
in
the other
China?
way around, right?
no, because we're we're cultivating people who should be playing other sports other than basketball. Yeah, if the average height of Filipinos are like 5'5", you shouldn't be teaching your kids to play basketball if you want to succeed in sports.
So you should be playing tennis and taekwondo like Mike.
It's not even tennis anymore. Tennis you have to be tall.
Yeah.
Right? But no, not to say I love basketball. I am gonna teach my future kids to play basketball. I'm gonna say this right now. I will fail at fatherhood if my kid is not a Laker fan.
Dude, I agree.
Yeah.
Create a plan, Ryan.
No. No.
I will-
Tito Ryan.
Oh,
No.
I want to go to the
No.
Clipper game with you.
No.
Brainwash that.
No. No.
no.
No. It's okay. Joe, I will buy all the Lakers stuff. No. No.
Real quick, you played power forward.
Yeah.
What did you play?
Left bench. Some people call it power bench, but you know. I played shooting guard, and
Wow.
when I was in middle
Shooting
school,
guard.
I played more of like small forward, power forward, because I was bigger. I was taller than most of the
Children.
folks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like later on, it's probably like shooting guard or small forward. So like,
Yeah.
Did
I
they
always
make you
played
center?
Yeah, I was always center. Even non-Filipino
Yeah.
leagues, I was a center.
mhm.
Up until high school, and I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you not play at Calabasas?
So
Oh. Ooh. It's getting sensitive?
Yeah. What happened here?
What
I
happened?
made the team, but I quit
Why?
because my coach wanted to cut my hair.
Oh. Wait a minute.
I was like, I barely made the team, and like, I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't that good, and I was already getting surpassed in height by all these other people, so I would have to play like,
The bench.
yeah, I was already a bench warmer, and even before we even started the season,
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, you gotta
Cut your hair.
cut your hair.
Where would you put your son in?
So yeah, I had
Wait,
bangs.
like
I had
cut
bangs.
it, like the bangs? Like you couldn't have
yeah.
the fade at all, or you just have to cut the bangs?
I had a fade and a flat top, but I had bangs that
Bangs.
went to my chin.
And you couldn't do that?
No.
What?
So I was like, and then the thing
It was
is like,
a different time, Elaine. It was a different time.
and
When
I-
bangs meant something.
No, because the guys at my school all had those too, but we didn't have that rule.
Because you went to a crap school.
Hey, it's a good school now.
No, but they would. I remember, the coach would call all the Asian players China. Yeah. So that was part of it too. I was like, fuck you. Like
You
I'm not gonna.
call you China?
Yeah.
This took a turn.
China Joe.
Oh
And then
my
I remember during
God.
PE, the same coach. He was also a coach. He would play softball, and then he would be the pitcher. And when I went up to bat, he would bow like Asian bow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's so racist.
Yeah, and then to the Latino players, he would get the ball and point to it, and he goes, "Oh, baseball, baseball."
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was an
That's
old crotchety white guy.
terrible.
So I was like,
What was up with the 90s and having old crotchety white guys as coaches? Because
We
that
still
happened.
have them.
I mean, yes. But at St. Genevieve, I remember when I made the JV team, we had to have a meeting because they had to let go of the basketball coach because the basketball coach was caught up in the LAPD scandal. Like there was a scandal.
Rampart scandal?
Not the Rampart scandal, but the one where like the something about like racist cops, and then
That's like the history of LAPD.
I'm like, wait a minute.
So like, yeah, which one?
But it must have been like post riots. Oh, it had to have been post riots because I was in high school, but there was some kind of it was Chief Daryl Gates. There was a scandal with him about like racist cops, which that could be any day of the week, but it had permeated his record, and I guess it had been investigated, and so the school found out, and then they were like, "Well, you have to go." So he had to. I think he quit or he was fired as basketball coach, and he had been. The girls' basketball team at St. Genevieve was actually really good. Like they had been CIF champs for numerous years in a row. This was when it was not predominantly Filipino American girls on the team. But nonetheless, he was the coach when they were winning. And so to let him go was like a big freaking deal. But I just remember thinking like, what's up with these old white guys? Why are they all so racist? But that is like every coach.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I mean, we didn't even play, so I didn't even play a game.
But your bangs are really important, Joe. I completely understand.
Nah, there's more than bangs.
Yeah, I'm glad you preserved them to this day.
Yeah.
And now you're just going out of your chin.
Man, I just didn't get into the basketball team. That's it.
Well, you went to Loyola.
Yeah, I just wasn't. That
You went to
good.
a school that like had players that went to college.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
You know,
like
I
college
actually
ball.
love playing with Ryan.
Why?
Well, first of all, he's a great passer.
Oh,
but
good
then
job,
I love playing against him because
Why?
I would love.
Will you body him?
Because I wanna guard him because he doesn't run.
Yes. We make deals.
We make deals. I'm
Joe
like,
and I
okay,
are like, dude, let's guard each other and just like, hey,
we
dude,
won't
I don't
run,
have
we'll
to
just jog.
So we're against each other. We're always like, yeah, I'm guarding Joe, and then he can say, I'm guarding Ryan. He's not running that fast. I go, Joe, I gotta tie my shoes. He's like, me too. He's the longest shoelaces.
Yeah, he was the best.
Oh my god.
Yeah, him and his
I look out.
Clipper shirt or
Oh yeah,
or Cal Golden Bear shirt.
yeah,
Those are your go-to pickup basketball
yeah,
shirts?
dude. I don't have much basketball
Yeah.
gear.
Yeah. I mean, I have one pair of USC basketball shorts that I love because I got them on sale when I was in grad school. And I'm like, these are normally $45, but they're on sale and they're $20. So I bought those shorts. I wear those every day. Every day. They're the
They're like
best.
pajamas for you, though.
Yeah, but they're the best. Like if I would have to play sports, I would probably play ball in those shorts.
Oh yeah.
Because fashion-wise,
Basketball shorts.
basketball shorts, they need to be big and long.
Yes.
I cannot handle short shorts.
Yeah.
The booty shorts.
So like when the Fab Five came out and it was like such a big deal, like the Fab Five from Michigan, and they had those shorts, I was like, that's how our shorts should be.
Dude, and they're the best pajamas.
They are.
I always wear basketball shorts when I wear it all the time in the
Yeah.
house. It's the best.
Why is Mike laughing? Mike,
I don't think I've ever owned a pair of basketball.
That's my
shorts.
question. Really? Not
yeah,
even.
there's the green ones.
So where do you wear to bed?
I bought those to be swimming trunks. Or like pajama pants.
So you wear pajama pants to bed?
I mean, if we were pants.
Mike is revealing a little too much information.
If you'd like to email producer Mike, just put on the subject line, this is for Mike at this Filipino American Life at gmail.com.
If you want to send Mike basketball shorts because he doesn't have any.
So yeah, basketball. Filipinos love it. Thank you again to talk for this discussion about basketball.
I thought you were saying thank you again to Tatak Filipino.
Thank you again to Talk Filipino for sponsoring our podcast. And,
Betsy's.
but yes, we didn't talk about the PBA. We actually did that purposefully because I want to actually bring somebody, an expert, to talk about that in a future episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Rafe Bartholomew, he wrote a whole book about basketball and PBA. If he wants to be a guest,
That'd be cool.
That's a shout out to you, Rafe, if you're listening, or if you have a friend who's listening, or
Or to fellow UCI anteater Tony Dela Cruz, who is coach player right now on the PBA.
Yeah.
If you would like to be on this Filipino American Life, we would totally have you.
Or Jordan Clarkson,
Or
like we
Jordan
said.
Clarkson.
Yeah. Or Eric Spolstra.
Or Eric's Coach Guapo, yes.
Yes. But or
Hey Mike, who
Robert,
would you want to talk to?
Robert Jaworski.
Joe.
Si Jawo.
Mike,
who would you talk to?
Mike?
Oh, Jack Sock,
Jack Sock.
the tennis player.
I like how all of us were like, who? Didn't he lose in the first round of Wimbledon?
Yeah. Okay,
Come on.
All right. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Go Lakers. This Filipino American Life is produced by Michael Nailat. Our intro and outro music is by Roger Habon, aka 10.4 Raj. Resident reality checker Girly Colado, legal advisor Rianne Fajardo, and graphic design by Vincent Collyer.